is visually satisfying. It looks great. But I can understand if you're squeamish, that's not going to be the best scene for you. It definitely makes you go, oh, please stop. You know, it makes you squinch. Welcome back to another movie discussion. Today we're doing things a little differently. I am in my car. We are hands-free. You are in a camera holder, so worry not. Eyes are on the road. But I wanted to talk about this movie when it came out in 2019. I watched it. I loved it. And then, me being the way I am, I kind of waited around and talk about it. Then I was like, nobody wants to hear this. Recently, we rewatched the movie. Fell in love with it all over again. I'm like, you know what? Be damned. I'm going to talk about it because I just like it that much. The movie in question, if you saw the title, is Ready or Not. Not to be confused with Hide and Seek. Even though that is the game they play, that is a completely different movie. I made a mistake and I was talking about this movie with somebody and I said Hide and Seek and they were like, Hide and Seek? And I was like, why are they getting so confused? It's Hide and Seek. You know the movie. And then I got home later and I got to thinking about it and I was like, oh, that's why they looked at me weird, because Hide and Seek is with Robert De Niro and Dakota Fanning. Completely different movie. So we are talking about Ready or Not. Now this movie, like I said, came out in 2019. It is rated R for, I don't remember everything. Again, I'm on the road, so I'll pop it up on the screen what it's rated R for. But we've got blood, we've got violence, we've got some drug use. There's like maybe 4 scenes, and literally you blink your eyes, you'll miss it. So it's nothing like a focal point of the movie. Now this is a horror comedy movie, so if you like movies like Zombieland, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Gremlins even, Ready or Not, this is Ready or Not, oh, I just watched it this morning. Happy Death Day. If you like those type of movies, you're going to love this. Hot Fuzz. Yeah. This is your movie. Now, if you're looking for a strictly horror movie, this isn't going to be for you because it does have a healthy dose of comedy throughout. That being said, it's not overly saturated with comedy. The comedy is strategically placed. And in the moments where it could up the level and go complete horror, that's when they bring a comedic aspect in. So it is a horror comedy, just know that up front. But from the very beginning, the movie introduces us to the origin story, if you will. It starts in the past and then we flash forward to 30 years. So pay attention to our characters at the beginning of the movie and see how they progress throughout the film. Samara Weaving plays Grace, is our bride. She did a phenomenal job. I mean, her portrayal of Grace was wonderful. The scenes where you'll see as her characters are having to deal with certain things thrown at her response, the way she reacts, it's just, I love it. I loved her acting in this movie. Adam Brody, wonderful. We saw Andy McDowell. Hadn't seen her in a while. She played our mother. The lady that plays the aunt. Now, I don't know what it is about this character. She's just the character in general is the character you love to hate. Anytime she comes on screen, you know she's going to do something or say something that you don't agree with. But because it's a horror comedy, it's going to have this comedic aspect to it. But even though she is the aunt, she just, I don't know, I don't want to say it's the hair, the white hair, because I don't want to be that person. Because I have had multiple colored hair throughout my entire life, and I don't want to be that person. Like, white equates to old, but she did not give off an aunt vibe. To me, she gave off a grandmotherly vibe. And so, if I call her grandmother at any point in this review, just know I mean the aunt. She's the aunt. But she did phenomenal. Like I said, she's that character you love to hate. She played it well. Now, I love the story of this. It was great. There have been many horror movies I've seen in the past that They have a good storyline. They have a good plot. Everything's wonderful for the first hour and a half. And then they reveal the creature. Or they throw out something out of left field that doesn't make any kind of sense. And it just completely ruins the whole movie. You don't have that issue with this. Now, the movie does start off with a little bit of how the family came into their history. And what I love is you feel like you are the character of Grace. Like, as an audience member, you know there's something more sinister because you've seen the trailers. But you get to learn as Grace learns what happens and how the family came into their fortune and all of that. And so it's a slow build up, it's a slow tension, and it never gets to the part where it's like, okay, let's do this, let's do it, come on. No, it's a good build up and things progress at a nice speed. There's never a moment where you're like, okay, hurry it along, or whoa, that was a little too fast. You know, it had a nice pace. And like I said, the way Grace reacts, yeah, love it. There are multiple instances in this film where the characters react how you would react. And I love when a film will do that. It makes you feel connected to it even more. It makes you feel like you are in the film yourself because you're hearing your voice being represented on film. Because, like, there's a scene towards the middle where Grace is in the barn and she has to interact with another character. You know the part I'm talking about. When this character does what they do and her response, I was like, yes, I am here for it, Grace. That is exactly how I would have responded. And then all the events right after that, what happens to her, and then at the gate with the car that drives by and the slew of words. Yes, all of that on point. I was like, I am here for it. That's maybe not all of that is what I was thinking and wanted to come out, but yeah, what I'm feeling, it is how you're feeling, and it's getting represented on screen. I love that so much. And it's not just Grace. There are a few other characters. When they respond, you're like, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Thank you. And so I love the writing on this. And there's one focal point that they keep impressing upon throughout the film. And when we get to the ending, you're like, okay, how are they going to round this out now? We've been amping it up and building it up this entire film. Are we about to disappoint? And then the ending. I love it. It fit. It was on point for everything that had been up to that, everything that has been built up to that point. And then the ending, it fit. It made sense. It wasn't bizarre. It was kind of far-fetched, but it had done built you up to see that. And so it was totally within the realm of possibilities of things that could have happened. And again, the character's response at the end, how you would want to react. I mean, it was great. Now, like I said, this is rated R, so we have definitely got the language in here. So if you don't like curse words, that's not going to be for you. It's rated R. And that's not to say that like every other word in the film is a curse or something. No, but there are appropriate places where a character responds, and it's a slew of words. And like I said, it's appropriate for the moment. It's not just there for the sake of being there, being thrown in. And also it's R because of the gore and the violence. The gore is very minimal. Again, think Hot Fuzz, think like Hot Fuzz, Scream, stuff like that. Think along those lines. It's very tame. It's very delicate, if you will. It's not in your face and aggressive like, say, something from Hostel or The Green Inferno or Saw would be. It's very tame. The only scene that could get slightly graphic is the scene at the gate with Grace when she's getting scratched or cut. whichever interpretation you want to call that. That's the only scene that, you know, it goes a little, it's not necessarily, no, it's graphic. I was going to say, it's not necessarily graphic, but yeah, it can be graphic, and it lingers just a little bit, and with the sound effects at the same time, it's just that good, perfect combination that if you're someone that likes SFX like me, it is visually satisfying. It looks great. But I can understand if you're squeamish, that's not going to be the best scene for you. It definitely makes you go, oh, please stop. You know, it makes you squinch. It does make you squinch. But there are others. That's the only one in particular that I can really point out if you are definitely squeamish. Around the gate after the barn scene, look out for that. Otherwise, everything else, the gore, it's, you know, it's a glance. It's from way back here. You're not like getting up in close details of it. So it's tame. What else can I say? It's tame. Again, the acting was superb. You know, it was phenomenal. Everyone did. They did phenomenal balance in that horror to comedy ratio. Like I said, it is a horror comedy, but it wasn't, like I said, overly saturated with comedy. They knew when to come in at the right moment with it, and each character had their little moment to shine. So it was not like one only character got all horror lines, one only got comedic effects. You know, they all had a moment to shine for their comedic aspect to come out, and so that was really lovely. But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. I thought it was a well-rounded movie. The plot points were well established. Everything made sense. There was nothing that came out of left field and was like, why did you put that in there? That made no sense to anything that's going on. The reveal, as it slowly builds up, it has, if you will, multiple twists, because about the time you think you've got a character figured out, then something changes and you're like, oh no, I can't believe they just did that. And so it does give you little twists and turns here and there. Visuals were fantastic. Like, I can't get over it enough, especially that gate scene. The costuming, loved Grace's wedding dress, and I love the way when her dress gets ripped, I love that they actually showed it being jagged, you know, and it wasn't finally just, you know, because you know how they'll do it, and it's like, oh, she cut it, and it's perfectly cut. No. Like when a character's cutting their hair in a movie, and then it's just a perfect bob after they're done, it's not like all jacked up. No, that does not happen. But, you know, it had unevenness to it, and then as it progressed, you know, it stayed the amount of filthy it should have been. And I loved her yellow Converse. Now, if you are not someone like me that doesn't watch behind the features, then you're not going to know this, but the yellow Converse were strictly for her for this movie. They came out at one point and then they were discontinued maybe, or maybe they were only promotional. There was something about it, but they don't make those anymore, and then they specifically got some and dyed them and made them for her for that movie. So loved the look. It was just a really great movie for me personally. I highly recommend it, especially, like I said, if you like movies like Scream, Hot Fuzz, Happy Death Day, even Gremlins, Tucker and Dale. If you like those horror movies that got the comedic aspect to it, give Ready or Not a go. I'm more than sure you're going to love it. Leave a comment down below what movies you want me to review in the future. Let me know your thoughts on this movie. Try to keep it spoiler free like I did. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to see more. Bye.